with that, we can pass things over to Paula. Paula's from Friedman Williams. She'll be talking about how to effectively land a new job. I will bring up Paula's slideshow. Hold on. Go to the right slide. And which slide does it show? That's what I thought. Okay. Switch slide decks here. Paula, can you see your slide deck?
I can. Thanks, Ben.
Sure.
Great. So good morning, everybody. I appreciate, Ben inviting me to speak with a group of engineers this morning. I have over 20 years of experience working both on the corporate HR side and now the staffing side. Most people go from agency to corporate. I do the opposite. So I definitely have a very, well-rounded background when it comes to HR practices and what firms look for internally. And now I'm on the agency side, really specializing in identifying mid to senior level IT talent. Friedman Williams has several divisions. I specialize in tech. So we do everything from, hiring a help desk consultant to, network engineer, to placing full-time staff. We're seeing a huge uptick in jobs the last couple of weeks, which is really great. Most companies tend to go to their internal groups for hiring needs, and what we do on the agency side and at Friedman Williams is really find the purple squirrels and the unicorns. There's a huge skills gap that Elizabeth talked about. There's a high demand for talent, and folks like yourself are probably being sought after by recruiters on a daily basis. So Ben invited me to this presentation this morning, and I have put together a little bit of a presentation, really kind of diving into what it takes to really conduct a job search for you, right? Because it's a very personal, emotional experience for most people. So yeah, but I have full control, correct?
Give me 1 second.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. I don't see the option to give you control, Paula. If you just want to tell me when to advance the slides, I can do that for you.
Perfect. That's fine. Well, that looks like a lot of open racks, but in any case, Friedman Williams, like I mentioned before, we have various divisions. I'm part of, and specialized in technical staffing. We do everything from, looking for CIOs and IT directors to network engineers. We're seeing a lot of virtualization jobs. I've got, 2 or 3 virtualization positions on my desk right now, lots of cloud roles. And I work both, with our clients, strategizing, their hires, and I also am out there sourcing and calling folks and saying, hey, you're looking at the market, right? So we can skip over to the next slide, and I can just kind of give you a little bit more information about my background. I've, again, 20 years of HR experience. I worked in, a lot of the creative industries when I started my career many years ago. In advertising and publishing, and then I spent about 12 years at a very small B2B publisher that transitioned from print to digital, and that's how I got involved in technology, and I loved it, and I just thought it was super exciting. And then I moved on and I went to work for Presidio, which a lot of folks probably know of and use. For me, it was a great experience. I learned all about the Cisco networking world and virtualization and cloud and security. And, for, personal and professional reasons, I moved over to the agency side. My office is in New Jersey. I live in New Jersey. Although I am a proud New Yorker and I miss New York so much. Hopefully we'll get back to the New York office soon. But my information is there. If you ever have a question along the way on today's presentation or after this, I'm always open to having a conversation and give really solid career advice. We can move to the next. Okay. So the agenda, I'm just going to touch on certain things, and again, jump in if anyone has any questions. I know we're being moderated here, but just stop me at any time. I'm going to give you tips for creating a personalized career plan, right? Kind of top resources for finding technical jobs, effective networking, and then the obvious resume writing and LinkedIn profile approach for technical professionals like yourselves. We have to go back to just skip.
Oh, I'm
back.
sorry.
The career plan. I was really proud of that slide. Okay. So I think it's really important for anybody, whether you're in a technical job, you're, an accountant, whatever it is. I think it's so important for people to take ownership of their careers. I speak to people all day long, what's going to motivate you to find a new position? It's so important to take that inventory. What are your career goals, right? Create a plan. Like, what are your 5-year goals? What's your 10-year plan? Identify the jobs that you really want. I mean, for most of you, you're in very specialized fields, very technical roles. And again, people are reaching out to you on a daily basis. I can't say that so much for other industries. So I think, everyone on this call should be so thankful that they're in technology. It's evolving. We're seeing a huge uptick. We know, post-COVID, firms are not going to invest in real estate. They're going to invest in technology, right? So, what do you want? What's your why? Why would you, want to even make a move? And, what's really important to you? Some of the things that, I think, folks like yourself can think about are, do I want to be in a pre-sales role? Do I want to be in a delivery role? Do I want to get involved in business? Do I want to be a manager? Earlier in my career, I interviewed more entry-level folks, and I would laugh because everyone wanted to be a manager, but not everyone thrives at being a manager. So it's really important to take an inventory of what am I good at? Where do I thrive? What industry do I want to work in? Do I want to work for a manufacturer? Do I want to work for a VAR? Do I want to be in media? Do I want to be in finance, right? Certain industries pay more, some don't. There's benefits to, everything. And I think it's important, again, to really figure out, what it is that you're looking for and come up with a plan. Ben, can we go to the next slide?
Sure.
Great, thank you. Okay. So anytime you're looking for anything, whether it be, a job or, you're looking for a new pair of pants or you're looking to, enhance your financial portfolio, it's always really important to diversify your job search. You have to explore all options. Look internally at your firm, right? Like, what does the internal structure look like? Maybe you want to be in your boss's role in 5 years. How are you going to get there, right? So that, you go back to the career plan, have conversations, let at internal job boards, maybe even look on LinkedIn, for both the internal positions and the job search for the external job search. Check in with your recruiters, and I'll plug my firm from, Friedman Williams. We are an executive style search firm. We're a small firm. We're very niche. I know some of the people on this call are actually active candidates. We have a wide range of jobs that we work in. we're one staffing firm. Most candidates, most firms that are looking to hire, they will work with multiple agencies, but our approach is very personalized. And I think it's important to check with internal recruiters because sometimes jobs aren't posted. Firms don't want to take the time to post and screen. There's a lot of delivery and time that goes into it for corporations. So we really take a lot of that delivery out of the search. So we'll get jobs that aren't publicized. Indeed and LinkedIn, I think, are the top resources today for any candidate looking for a job. When I work with clients, I say, go to Indeed. If you don't know what you're looking to do, set up a search agent, right? It does the work for you. If you want to be an architect and you're an engineer now, put in architect roles in your location. Set up daily updates, weekly updates. And again, it really does the work for you. Leverage LinkedIn. LinkedIn is such a power tool. I remember using it back in 2008. I probably had one of the first sales reps that was selling, their job postings. Again, our technology is so sophisticated today versus, 20 years ago. People look for jobs differently today. I work with candidates who haven't looked for a job in 15, 20 years, and they don't even know what to do. So, these are really great tools, not only to help you explore what's out there, but, to activate your search, send in your resume. User groups, like we're on a user group right now. There's probably, so many folks on this call that can tap into, the person next to you about jobs at their firm. Networking is definitely the #1 source to find a job. I mean, it's the best way. So I always encourage people to reach out to your network. Some people are comfortable doing that and some aren't. So it really needs to feel comfortable to you on how you're gonna, approach the search. Ben, if you can move to the next slide, that would be great. Okay, so networking got its own slides because I feel super passionate about it. Again, leverage your network, use social media, LinkedIn, Facebook. I know that there are, some technical sites, and again, going back to the LinkedIn group, tapping into those groups as well. And then attend virtual networking groups. I mean, there's so much of this going on. There's so much virtual, there's so many virtual platforms right now and webinars that we're doing today. I mean, I know personally, I created an entire tech series of speaking engagements. Ben spoke to some of, our audience a few weeks ago about, a VMware cert. So, talk to, attend virtual networking events and really reach out. I know people that have sort of created, sort of like a sales pitch for themselves, right? It really depends on how active you are. And again, I think most of the folks that are on this call are getting contacted by recruiters, on a daily basis about opportunities at their firm. We can move, yep, okay. So I just put together like, a couple of tips for updating your LinkedIn profile and resume. LinkedIn, recruiters are all over LinkedIn every day, sourcing and looking for talent, right? I know some folks don't want to be there because they don't want to, be contacted, but if you're open and you're comfortable with, keeping an updated professional profile on LinkedIn, make sure your picture is a professional picture. Or maybe, you want to put a backdrop of, some technical certification that you have, right? If you're a VMware expert, let everyone know you're a VMware expert. But having a professional photo versus having a picture of your baby or having a picture, wedding picture. I mean, I think the best practice is to have a professional, headshot. Ensure your title and your headlines are up to date. What's the job that you want? It's a marketing tool, right? You have to market yourself and brand yourself to the jobs that you want and who you are as a professional. If you're active on the market, LinkedIn has buttons and whistles that, you can click and, open up yourself to recruiters. I think recruiters are going to reach out to you anyway if you're not open, because the solutions that they provide to employers are very sophisticated. Update the about section. So LinkedIn gives you, different areas where you can showcase, your personal brand. And I really think that LinkedIn is, the platform for showcasing who you are as a professional. Sometimes folks have their resume on LinkedIn. I personally think that less content is better. Instead of having your resume there, some people feel that their, LinkedIn profile is now a resume, but I don't personally believe that. I mean, if I'm working with a client and they come to us to fill a job, they want a professional resume. So it's super important to, have and present yourself in a professional manner. We can move over to the resume slide, which is, I think, the last one. Keep your resume to 2 to 3 pages. I get resumes, I get 9 pages, 8 pages, 10 pages. I would never send a client an 8-page resume. I think, it's important to be able to condense your experience. I think it's okay to take off jobs that you've had 20 years ago, 30 years ago. I mean, let's face it, the technologies have changed, right? What you were doing 10 years ago is probably not so relevant to what you're doing today. So really try to keep your resume 2 to 3 pages. I know a lot of people struggle with this, and that's one of the benefits that you get with working with an agency. I mean, I redo resumes for free. So, if you're ever looking to have a conversation or you're really struggling, reach out to me and ask me for help on, how to condense your resume and what it should look like. Clean, concise, font, format. This is a reflection of who you are. It's your marketing tool. It gets you in the door. Your professional overview, again, should reflect the job that you want. Who are you as a professional? What could you do? Technical skills and certifications outlined. I know Elizabeth is going to love this one, right? Technical skills and certifications should be at the top of your resume. And this is very specific to technical, candidates and resumes. It showcases the skills that you have, the certifications that you have, and that I believe should, be on top before you kind of jump into your work experience. My slide is just cut off a little bit here. Okay. Ensure that you have present and past tense. If you worked at Time Warner, from 1996 to 2000, it has to be in past tense. It should say managed or deployed instead of, the current tense. Cover letters, this comes up a lot today because, most people are sending, resumes in through email or sending them through, LinkedIn to their, colleagues. Cover letters, if they ask for a cover letter in the advertisement, send a cover letter, right? Because you're following the direction. If it's not there, I don't think it's necessary. I don't think you have to send a cover letter to, your peer who is, sending your resume to their hiring manager or to their, HR team. So that's basically, covering what I wanted to share. It's just sort of a window of, some best practices. I'm happy to answer any questions. And I'm happy to, provide any kind of assistance to, folks that are, starting or maybe thinking about looking at a job search.
Quick question, Paula.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? So when applying to jobs on LinkedIn, Indeed, whatever, do you include a cover letter or no? If they don't ask for it.
I don't think you have to. If they don't ask for it, don't send it. I mean, because I find, especially when I was on the corporate side, recruiters and HR professionals are busy. They're busier today than ever because of COVID. I think only provided if it's asked for.
Okay, I didn't know if you meant the one before when you mentioned it with networking or everything. Okay, thank you.
Sure.
I got another one.
Yeah.
When it comes to when you see the requirements of a job, right? I know a lot of people think that they need to check every box that's on the requirements. What would be your advice for a candidate that's looking to take something on that maybe they haven't done in the past, but they're looking to kind of get into that role?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I see job descriptions all day long. I mean, I probably have 1,000 job descriptions on my computer from, various corporations, small, large, whatever. And a lot of the times, the job description becomes a wish list of what they're looking for. It might include the technologies that they're using today, or the technologies that they're, looking to, roll out in the next 2 or 3 years. I find it, again, we talk about, the purple squirrels, but I find that not every candidate typically has everything that's listed on the job description. I would use like the 80-20 rule. If you have 80% of what's listed on that requirements section, send your resume. What's the worst thing that could happen, right? You might get a call from the recruiter and say, we got your resume, let's have a conversation. This might not be the right job for you, but wait, I think we might have another opening. Send it, use the 80-20 rule. If you feel that you have 80% of the experience that they're looking for, send it. And again, if you see an ad, always look for someone that within that firm to send the resume to, because you just get noticed so much more than if you, send your resume through a CRM. This is fun. Any more questions? No? Well, I'm always here. Sometimes people don't want to, kind of announce it. If anyone is looking to explore the market, or if you're struggling to fill a position within your internal team, please reach out to me. I'm always here. And Ben, I really appreciate the opportunity to, showcase, some of what we do at Friedman Williams, and, just some good insights for technical candidates.
Hey, Paula, why don't you share your contact information in the chat to everyone?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Thanks.
Thanks, Paula.